Good day, it's Tony Fortunato from the technology firm. Today I'm going to show you how you can do a wireless site survey using the OneTouchAT. It's from Fluke Networks, and it's also called a network assistant. As you can see, I'm on the Fluke Networks website. I'm going to be bouncing through a whole bunch of screens. I want to see if I can get it in one take. So this is the OneTouch, and you can see it's got a touch screen and a whole bunch of icons on it. On the top of the unit, you've got some copper and fiber ports and a SMA connector for an antenna. And that's it. I'm not going to go through the dog and pony show for that. So what I did was I set it up, and this is what it looks like on that screen. I did a screen capture, and I was running a test to this wireless access point, and it was called, the SSID was 24 gigahertz, and this was a unmanaged access point. This is your standard Linksys router that you get from Best Buy or wherever. And you can see that it's doing a little test. It's got the RSSI, the signal strength. It tells me what channel. It tells me the connection rate, all that good stuff. And then when you hit the test button, it goes through a whole bunch of stuff that I've preset. So I'm doing a TCP port check to google.com on port 80. I'm also pinging my website, thetechfirm.com. I'm also receiving some multicast video streams from a webcam. I'm also pinging the default gateway. And I'm doing an FTP to an FTP server. So you can see I've grouped them accordingly, and it just goes through all of them and gives you a check mark, and on the top bar it goes green or red depending on what's going on. So this all tested great, but there's a little triangle here on the access point. So if I was to come over here and check the report, you get, in this case, it's a 22-page report. Now, don't let that deter you. It's 22 pages because it goes through every single possible test that you may have done, which I did not do. For example, PoE and all that kind of stuff, I'm not doing any of that, and I didn't have an Ethernet connection on it wired wise. It was all wireless. So in this case, you can see the access point. You can see it was connected using 802.11n. Again, the channel tells me the IP address, and in this case, the access point report is specifically telling me the minimum signal strength was -82, the best was -74, and the average was 76. Based on the default settings, I didn't set this, based on the default settings, you can see that it says anything worse than -75 gives you the little triangle, which again ours was -76 average, and the worst was -82. So you can actually see exactly why it flagged that connection for you. So that was an example of everything okay, but on the Wi-Fi side things were marginal at best, but all the tests passed. So what I'm going to do is show you another screen, and in this case it was to a different access point. You can see the signal strength at that time of the screenshot was -89, different channel, different AP of course, and this stuff was all okay, and this was kind of hit and miss. So I can see exactly what kind of effect the customer would have. So for example, you'd be able to ping, you'd be able to get to the internet, but if you did a download, a file transfer of some kind, not so great. And if you had some multimedia stuff going on, not so great either. Now specifically, we'll dig into this report as well. From the access point side of things, you can actually see the same types of reports, that the signal strength was not that great, retries, lots of retries. And then if we move down to the specific reports, I'm just going to page down a little bit and show you. Here we go. There'll be, for example, that's the DHCP report. I'm going to specifically go to the, here it is. This is my multicast report using IGMP. That's the IP I use. This was the setup, obviously, that I use for my testing. And you can see big X on data start, and I have a return code of 706, which means it timed out. So based on the signal strength, it couldn't even connect or complete this test. Same deal with the file transfer, the FTP. You can actually see there's an X there for data transfer, and again I have two codes on the bottom. 150 was the file status was okay, it was about to open the connection, but then it failed to receive the network data. So this is pretty neat. Not only do you know the signal strength and the Wi-Fi stats, but you can actually try to gauge the response time or the customer experience with various applications. So that's it. Have a good day. Bye for now.